Emergency
and we're going to turn left.
We are turn left. So check the mirror turn on,
Yeah.
and this mirror, give a signal. This is about 6 car now, so give a signal.
Right, yeah.
Okay. So can you see now? Okay.
Cover the brake.
And cover the brake. Cover the brake.
Squeeze the
and
brake
steer
gently.
toward me. Squeeze the brake gently, and stop here. Yeah. And put in gear 1.
Gear 1.
Yeah. Good. Okay. So we make sure we're in gear 1 because
Right,
if not we will stall. Yeah.
Right, just slow down. There's nobody behind us, is there?
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So
just check my knowledge now, yeah.
Yeah.
So, how am I judging where to stop at this giveaway line?
Okay. How do you judge a way to stop, Tony?
Oh, I've got the giveaway line cutting into the car with the reference point.
Okay.
And that's.
Okay. Why do you have to stop there, Tony?
Oh, so I don't encroach, yeah.
Okay. So what happens if you do?
I could force a vehicle around,
Okay,
yeah.
so we got a car behind Tony, so we're gonna go and have a look right here. Is any car coming?
Yeah, there's
okay,
one,
so we
two
wait.
coming.
Okay.
He's turning left.
Yeah, he's turning left, so we make sure before he turn in.
Check
ahead there. Any pedestrian?
No.
Okay, left. Anyone there? Okay, we can drive on. Keep looking to the left and steering to the left. Okay, good.
To look to the left so I don't run somebody over.
Good, very good, very good. Okay. And then check the middle mirror. You know you got to check the middle mirror.
Middle mirror to see what's followed me. That bus is behind me.
Yeah, good.
Right mirror to see if anybody's overtaken me.
Okay.
And if there was, I've got to let them go because otherwise I might force them into an oncoming car.
Good, good. Okay.
And we're going to take the next turning to the left.
We're taking the next turning to the left, Tony.
And if we find a safe, convenient and legal stopping place on the left.
Yeah, can you stop somewhere safe, convenient, legal place, please? Oh, it's going hot now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? 14 degrees. Yeah, go on. How does that feel?
That was good.
Felt very good.
Huh?
Very good. So, as you can see, as soon as you give me the detail,
yeah, I
will learn quite quickly, won't I?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Don't bang it straight over to me though, yeah?
Yeah.
Say I'll prompt you on the next one, yeah?
Yeah.
Because you're not actually transferring any power over to me. You're just basically checking that learning has taken place, yeah? So remember, I have done the mirrors and the signals before on this routine. But obviously I need you on the initial first couple of junctions to give me a proper talk through on them, yeah? I won't take any bit off you until you've actually talked it through to me properly anyway, yeah? So you know, so you've got to tell me what to check, why I'm checking, the consequences of not checking, yeah? Once you've given me that, then I will probably give you a hint to say that that's very similar to the left and right hand turns I done last week, yeah? So you can say, well, I'll just prompt you on the next one, yeah? And that saves you having to talk me through the two mirrors. And then with the signal, in the initial ones, tell me, indicate now, this is 5 or 6 car lengths, yeah? And then as soon as you get a chance, you can then fill in the blanks about the 5 or 6 car lengths. You know, why it's important not to indicate 15 car lengths away, why it's important not to indicate only 2 car lengths away. But on some occasions, I may have to delay my signal because there could be a road before the one that I want.
Yeah.
And there's a car coming out of there, I'm going to confuse them, yeah? So fill in the blanks when you can, yeah? But if there's nobody behind us on the emerge, hold me there, and all you have to do is just keep staring in there while you're talking, and you can give me loads of information, yeah? And even get a chance to check my knowledge. And can you now see where you've been going wrong on your previous attempts?
You were not watching you.
No. Well, it's a bit. Not watching me wasn't a great big problem today because you somehow managed to not watch me at places, but you still spotted what I wasn't doing, yeah. So your head tends to move quite quickly. But is there anything you're doing differently now today, after?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
After a couple of hours, that you weren't doing before.
No, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, what are you doing differently?
Well, I'm educating you now, ain't it? And in the right places now, ain't it?
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And how are you educating me differently than you would have done yesterday?
Well, I was not doing anything yesterday, I think.
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah, you're right. I know how to put it down.
yeah. So why do you think the examiner was marking it as 2, 3, 2, 2, 2? What do you think was missing?
A lot. I think a lot was missing. I was not finding his fault, and I was not educating him. I can't educate him if I'm not finding his fault, isn't it?
Yeah. A 2 normally relates to. We actually call it.
Consequence.
We call it treating the examiner like a taxi driver. Yeah.
Yeah.
You sit next to him. He tells you where to go. You repeat your instructions back to him, and he makes mistakes. You don't even notice them.
Yeah.
And you just go for a drive, and at the end of it, he ends up giving you a bit of paper with a 2 on it, yeah?
Yeah.
A 3 means that you have actually probably spotted the what, yeah? But you haven't actually analysed it and given remedial action, yeah? Yeah? So remember, if I make an error, I need to know what the error is,
Yes.
how I'm going to solve that error, yeah? And I need to know what's the consequences if I carry on making this error, yeah? And then once I know the consequences, then that's going to help me not to make that error, yeah? The same way when I stop at a junction, I need guidance on about how I'm going to judge it. There's no good sitting there, and you didn't do this, but some people do, and say, "Oh, go now, don't go now, go now, don't go now," yeah? Eventually you're going to have to try and educate me on how I can judge it myself, yeah? And we have this walk across, drive across rule, yeah? And it does work, doesn't it? And the SE will understand it. So when the opportunity arises, if there's nobody behind you, that's your opportunity to actually use the walk across, drive across rule, yeah? You can always tell if the opportunity arises to use the walk across, drive across rule and you're not using it. The examiner will kind of give you a lifeline, and it's going to be a lifeline like he'll have the clutch biting, pulling the car out of the junction, and he'll be going, "Can I go now? Can I go now?" And you're going, "No, you can't go now," yeah? And what he's basically asking you for is, for God's sake, give me some guidance about how I can judge it, yeah? Yeah?
I see.
Because don't forget, there might be cars coming on the road that we're emerging into, but if there's nobody behind you, it's a live emerge situation. Get in there and give the information on the walk across, drive across, which you did, yeah? And that was 100% better. 100% better, yeah? Okay, we stuck on one subject today. Basically, there was no point in going around the houses and doing loads of different subjects, yeah? We just wanted to get one subject where we can get you to start using these tools, yeah? Yeah? And obviously these tools that we got today now would be exactly the same kind of tools that you'd use for any other the exercise that we're going to do. Yeah. It would certainly be exactly the same for left and right hand turns and crossroads, and the only difference of crossroads would be what? What's the main difference between a crossroads and an emerge?
The crossroad has the extra road in it.
Extra road, yeah. So the routine's exactly the same. Yeah, the mirror signal position speed up routine. The only difference is you've got to teach me about that extra road, yeah?
Yeah.
And you've got to make a big fuss about that extra road. But in the initial stages, you'll have to make, even though I will have done emerging on the last lesson, you will, the SE has to see you guide them through the normal emerge, yeah? So, you know, you can't just say to him because he's done it before, I'll look to the right, is it clear? And then start concentrating on the road opposite, and then say, look to the left, is it clear? Initially, he's got to need guidance on the walk across, drive across rule again, yeah? And then once he realises that you know about the walk across, drive across rule, then he may well come in and say, well, that's very similar to the emerge I done last week, apart from the opposite road, yeah? And then that gives you a little bit less work to do, and plus you know in your own mind then the education's taking place, yeah?
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Done very well today.
Yeah.
Very well, very impressed.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah?
I don't know.
and you get a bit calmer now, you're slowing down as well, yeah?
Yeah.
No, it was good.
That's good.
It was good. So, you can now relate what we've done today to when you watch the Blaine videos, and you will actually see it. Yeah, I can see where he's coming from now, yeah?
Yeah.
Because don't forget, you know, Blaine always says, control, educate, yeah?
Yeah.
And another thing he quite often says, and it's very, very important, the devil's in the detail.
The details.
Yeah, especially on phase one.
Yeah, yeah.
Detail is really, really important. Yeah, if you don't give that detail, then you know learning is not going to take place. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first thing to do is control the situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in Luton, it's not very difficult. You don't have to give the examiner a specific speed.
Yeah.
Just get him to cover the brake. Yeah? And then just get him to squeeze the brake to bring it down to an appropriate speed, old man's walking pace. Yeah. Yeah. He even plays around with, you know, he doesn't even play around with the word appropriate speed over here. Yeah. But you can see he gives you plenty of warnings of the emerge.
Yeah.
As soon as you turn into the road, he practically tells you straight away, we're going to be going left at the end, yeah? So, you know, you've got about 20 or 30 or 40 car lengths to sort out this mirror signal, position, speed, look routine, yeah? So start the mirror signal, position, speed, look routine about 11 or 12 car lengths away, yeah?
Yeah.
And then by the time you get to about 6 car lengths, where I will be putting the indicator on, you will have time to say, indicate now, this is 6 car lengths. And then approach the emerge, you'll be able to talk me through into position.
Yeah.
And then after we make the turn, if we haven't got an emerge afterwards, you can then actually start filling in the blanks about the things you didn't have time to talk about in approach.
Yeah.
The reason why we signal 6 car lengths away is blah de blah, yeah. And on some occasions, we may have to signal a bit later. But it's important we don't signal too early, because people are going to get confused, yeah. So it's all this information, is all what we call detail. And if you give them that detail, you'll pass the flying colours, yeah.
So you think the way, because I improved it, you think today, yeah? So if I work like this, it will go better and better, you think?
It will, without a doubt. Yeah. I gave you lifeline on 2 of the emerges.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't see. On the first emerge we done.
Oh, that one in the main road, yeah?
Yeah, there was cars coming around the bend. I honestly couldn't see. And I could have been sitting there for a long time. And then on the emerge that we'd done down the road here, I couldn't see again. So, if he speaks and he says he's, you know, oh, I'm having trouble seeing you, yeah?
I see, yeah.
That's a lifeline.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Obviously you knew about the creeping Pete because I didn't mention it and you brought it in, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what you want to do is get me to do the creeping Pete.
Okay, so that's I think another thing you got to maybe are missing, yeah, is to tell me how to recognize the lifeline. I've got the information, but you see, I think I was not recognizing the lifeline because at first I thought he was just joking. You know, I was not taking even. No, you know what I mean?
No, I'll be honest with you. When they say something, they
always alive, yeah.
Yeah, they're normally saying it for a reason. Yeah, they're not going to try and engross you in a deep conversation in the middle of an approach to emerge. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they say something, listen to what they're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something in it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something in it. It's probably a lifeline. If he's telling you he can't see what's coming. Well, then obviously there's a problem there, yeah?
Yeah.
And if you're watching him, you should be looking in the same place he's looking.
Yeah.
So if he can't see enough down the road to make a decision whether there's anybody coming or not, then you'll be able to see that, yeah?
Yeah.
And that'll give you the opportunity of talking about the creep and peep, yeah?
Yeah.
You know, because it's, you know, some of the junctions can be closed.
It's good job you keep repeating it. Then I realize, oh, you want me to say something.
Yeah. I mean, the
knowledge is there, yeah. But I didn't recognize the life.
Yeah. Lifelines will be given where they think they're deserved.
It's needed, yeah.
If you're not talking through any part of the routine, there's no point in giving you a lifeline because, you know, that's
missing too much.
Yeah, the lifeline's not going to work, is it? It's not going to get you. It's not going to help you to get through your exam. But if he thinks in his own mind that you know how to do this job, yeah? And there's just little bits of detail missing here and there, then yes, he will give you lifelines, yeah? And we haven't looked at phase 2 today, and we'll look at that on the next lesson. But you know, on the phase 2, it's important for you to get inside their head and if it's pedestrian crossings, use signals. Yeah. Find out what they know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be forcing them into asking you questions. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're making an effort to find out what they know, and you've missed out on a couple of bits, and the situation didn't arise like a pedestrian wasn't standing on the pavement, that he could try and beckon across. He may say to you something like, "Oh, when I'm out with my wife, she always beckons the pedestrians across to get them out of the way." That's a lifeline, yeah, because you haven't mentioned it.
Yeah.
So you'll have to jump in and say, "Well, your wife's wrong, yeah." You know, you must not beckon pedestrians across, and then give the reasons why. Because if you do, you're putting them in danger. They may well get run over by another vehicle, yeah. But obviously, if the situation does arise, and he does get a chance to beckon them across, and it can be very, very subtle,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
then that's because you haven't mentioned the pedestrian. So if he sees the pedestrian, you must have seen it as well. Get in nice and early, and if it's phase 2, you'd say to him, "Would it be okay to beckon this pedestrian across?" "Oh yeah." "No, you wouldn't." Yeah, because it'd be dangerous. So
What's this word? Beckon.
beckon?
Beckon.
That,
Is all.
that means you're inviting the pedestrian to cross. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So they use this word, do they?
Yeah, or they may even, if there's nobody around, they may even try stopping for a pedestrian who's just,
Yeah. Slow down.
you know, standing on a
Yeah.
safe haven in the middle of the road. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
As soon as you see him slow down, no, come on, keep moving,
Keep moving. Don't.
because it's dangerous, isn't it? You know, but obviously he won't put the pedestrian in danger.
No.
But they can be subtle about it and put the pedestrian in danger. So obviously, if he does manage to get the invite in to the pedestrian,
Yeah.
well then obviously you're going to have to deal with it afterwards.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a 6.
Yeah.
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 But
at least explain it.
yeah. Oh yeah. Don't let it go.
Yeah.
You got to deal with it, and then on the next one, when you see a pedestrian. And why is it important not to invite the pedestrian across? Blah-de-blah. Yeah, so, you know, you haven't been proactive and stopped it happening in the first place, but you will have to deal with it because it has happened. He's made an error, yeah? But that's a phase 2. At phase 1, obviously, it definitely shouldn't happen because you're given the education, and if the detail's there, it won't happen, will it? Yeah? That makes sense?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But if you're not given the detail, I can guarantee you, even on phase 1, it will happen. Yeah. Yeah. You'll see a pedestrian, and if there's nobody around, and he'll come to a stop, and he'll put flags at the window, inviting them to cross the road. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's down to you not giving the detail in the first place. Yeah. Right. So we'll give this a pause.